Testing.
That's
Chill
good right
Shump
there.
and beat.
Oh,
Yo.
Yep. There we
All right.
go. Man, I feel good, man.
There we go.
This is
Huh?
I appreciate
There
you
we
for this
go.
vibe right
Absolutely.
here.
Feel good, man. I
I
feel
appreciate you
good.
for these
Thank you for
vibes.
making this one happen,
Of
man.
course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
I feel so comfortable. Feel laid back.
Oh. It's time you kick back, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I
Sometimes
feel
you
like
gotta
you in
kick
your
back.
element.
Niggas
This
can
your
just
real
come through,
element.
kick it, be yourself. In case we don't know right now, we inside Lounge 3-4, owned by my big homie Tebucky Jones. For those who don't know about Tebucky Jones, he's
If you don't know, bro, that's
yeah, I was about to say if you're part of the football culture, you got to, especially in
Yeah.
Connecticut. But he's one of the big dogs. Had a beautiful NFL career, got himself a ring with Tom Brady. Came home, coached. You know what I'm saying? I coached with him. I was with him on the coaching staff for some time. Me and his son played together in high school for a little bit. Just a good dude overall, and just 100% from his hometown. And we from where we came from. You know what I mean? So whenever I came through, it was always love with him. You know what I'm saying? And I look at him as definitely as a mentor and a big homie. So
I get that
when I
vibe.
asked him to actually come through and do the weed and whiskey podcast,
Yeah, facts.
it wasn't nothing. He said, "Come
We
through."
definitely got
You know what I'm
the family
saying?
vibes
So
when we got
shout
here.
out to Big Dog.
Facts. We definitely
Absolutely.
feel like
I got a
family.
question about that real
Yeah,
quick.
yeah.
I know we pre-showed, but how does that feel to have somebody that you actually looked up to be somebody so close to you at this point in your life?
Man, I mean, I'll be honest with you, bro. Things like this are blessings to me, and I feel like at the same time it's also written. You know what I mean? For those who may or may not know, like I feel like this environment, these areas are like super insightful. They got a lot of knowledge. You know what I mean? You come in here. I'll be honest. I'll tell y'all right the rip. I'm like one of the youngest. I'm probably the youngest motherfucker that comes in here on the record. Real shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably the youngest one here. But when I come here, I'm in here with a lot of brothers. You know what I'm saying?
And you feel like you're
Everybody's
equal.
knowledgeable. Everybody's done something they like before. You know what I mean? And I pick from a lot of them. You know what I mean? And that gains all types of advice, whether it's financial, whether it's just
In
business
life.
wise. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's just life wise. You know what I mean? Love wise. You know, I get it a lot. You know what I'm saying? So this is definitely like one of my go-to spots. You know what
I
I'm saying?
think that was something key you said. I know life, financial is good, but love.
Yeah.
I feel like that was the key part. The fact that you can come into the environment like this with people who've been there, done that, and they give you genuine advice about actual love. Because, you know, not a lot of people can actually seek vulnerability outside of their situation.
Right.
So for you to actually have some people that you feel comfortable with who can actually give you good guidance on that, I feel like that's a great thing for you to have around here, regardless of what age you are, in honesty.
Absolutely.
So
That's
I
one in a
love
million.
that. I love hearing that because it just makes me think of my J. Cole lines. Niggas don't talk about how they want their back rubs and shit like that. You know,
man.
shit like that. We vulnerable
know?
as black men, yo. So we have to
course.
have that opportunity and that room where we can go in there with other black men who's been in that situation. We can be like, yo, young blood, this is how you go about
Right,
it. I like
man.
that feeling of vulnerability because
You
I
know?
like the after effects of it. That's just me, you know.
Mhm.
I'm not built
Nah,
like
I feel
many.
you.
Shows growth. You know what I mean?
Facts.
For sure.
Facts.
You got to be able to talk about your feelings.
Yeah.
I like this because this environment is like that grown man environment, you know? Your balls
That's the
finally
word.
dropped.
That's
Right.
the word I was trying to
Balls
feel me?
finally dropped. You can come smoke a cigar.
You kicking it.
The
You know what I
knowledge
mean?
is
You
different,
talking
yo.
hella shit, watching sports all goddamn day. You know
But
what
the
I mean? Like,
conversations are different, though.
Yeah,
Like, the
yeah.
conversations are different.
right,
Right,
man. And you know, it stems just like that sometimes. Like we was just up in here, I want to say the other night, watching the fight, and then one of them brought up the conversation as far as like what because not everybody in here knows necessarily what I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I don't go out the window to make that
Yeah,
known.
exactly.
You know what
There's
I
no
mean?
need for that. There's
Right,
no
yeah.
egos in here.
Exactly. But you feel me? One person next, I got to talking, and then it was just had to be 2-3 of us around the circle at the same time. And they were like, "Well, how does that work for streaming services and stuff like that?" Like,
Yeah.
you feel me? Like, and I broke it down as far as like all my insight of the game, as far as the music industry goes, and then another big dog, he was like, "Well, I took a marketing class
Mm-hmm.
of how that stuff goes down in general." You know what I'm saying? And it went down. We was talking for like at least a good 2 hours,
Damn.
just based off of streaming alone. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Damn.
But you feel me? That, again, this is the reason why I like coming here. Like these
Because
type
you
of
don't know what
things.
you're going to get and
Right.
who you're going
Yeah.
to meet.
Right.
Real
You know?
shit. Because you're just really meeting over one common thing.
Mhm.
Like real shit. It's like us with weed smokers like us. So like I've always thought that. Well, I used to say to people like, yo, I've smoked weed with people who are future CEOs of companies. Like,
Facts.
I know for a fact they're going to be CEOs because at the school that we're at, they were sent there to take certain majors because it was meant for them to be in the next company. They're going to run the next company. But these niggas, they know they're set. So they're living life different.
Right.
Differently.
Right.
They're more free with shit because they're like, nigga, like, I don't got no consequences for this shit. Like, my dad got this. And sometimes don't even want what's handed down to them in the first place. They be like, yo, man, I don't want to do that, man. I just want to live this. I want to play guitar and be a hippie and all these type of shit. I literally know somebody who's like that. He had a company that was literally given to him and he did not want it at all.
There are people.
He didn't want it. And then there's people who's like us, who's fighting for it and
Fighting tooth and nail for
For the opportunity, yeah.
and it's still not even guaranteed.
Right.
Still, but then you have people like me and you, or especially like you in this situation where you're fighting for it, you have accolades,
Yep.
and now you're in a room with people who did certain things on that level that you're trying to do it, you know? It might not be the same thing, but it's the same level. The tenacity is the same, that the hunger is the same, the drive is the same. So for you to get that motivation from them, yo, like honestly, bro, I'm in awe of this, yo. On some real shit.
It's 1 in a million.
I feel like we need more like this, like places
Absolutely.
like this and like the barbershop.
Right.
As we need these for black men because these are places where we can actually just let that steam off
Right.
in a non-aggressive
Right.
way.
You don't gotta flex over here. You ain't gotta sit there
Nope.
and portray like you big dog on top. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no
Listen,
such thing as big
I'll
dog.
tell you right
Everybody big
now.
dog.
I was about to say, I'm telling you right now, I probably would never touch the dollars that Tebucky touched. Maybe not. But you
The
know
goal
what?
is the goal
I was
is
like,
to
right, the goal is to, right? But you know
Yeah.
what? There's a lot of
He
knowledge
did
that
it
come along
already.
with it. You know what I'm saying? So you feel me? I'm grateful for that, and it's such a humbling feeling just to be here. You feel me?
It's funny that you said that because it's like we always see other people's situation from the outside and we think we want it, but we don't know the pain that they went through to get where they're at right now. And people don't understand
Right.
asking for the riches that come with it is also asking for the pain that come with it as well too.
Facts.
Because you can't, they go hand in hand. You can't
Facts.
skip over one just to get to the other because
Yeah.
one, you won't even be able to appreciate the riches with it.
Right.
The pain defined the riches, to be honest with you. And
Right.
people don't understand you have to take the pain along that whole journey,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Talking
See-
about to roll up.
So
Good.
if y'all don't mind me asking, what type of whiskey we got over here, man? What we looking at, baby?
Actually, yeah, this
Yeah.
they've seen this one before.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
one before we've actually
Actually, it got-
premiered
yeah.
on the
With the
episode.
Popeye episode. Popeye
Penelope.
Rivera.
Mhm.
Penelope Bourbon. This right here is gonna do the job, bro.
Word.
I'm telling you, like,
Smooth.
yes,
Right. Nah,
Really good.
okay, because I'm trying this out too, but
But
I'm
we
about
got
to
put
try
on
that
to
right now.
this one
Yeah.
right
Yeah,
here.
yeah. This is the new one.
This one right
This
here.
yeah.
Shout out to Brentford Distillery.
Mhm.
This one right here. I don't know, man. As soon as I drink this one, I feel like this is it. This one is a Connecticut brew, Connecticut bottle
Mhm.
at Brentford
Mhm.
Distillery in Brentford,
Yeah.
Connecticut.
Absolutely,
And honestly, yo, like he said, the recipe's right.
absolutely.
The recipe's
Shout out
right.
my man June over there for the complimentary.
Hey man,
You know what I mean?
stop drinking Jack Daniels.
Please.
Because it's not whiskey.
Thank you.
And this right here is locally owned,
Word.
black owned, and
Word.
it's whiskey.
Real whiskey.
Yeah, it's whiskey.
Matter of fact, it's super whiskey.
Yeah.
The
So,
bottle literally says it.
Stop drinking Jack
It's
Daniels.
a super
not-
bourbon
it's-
whiskey.
Right.
It's not whiskey. It's not bourbon. It's not.
Honestly, I'm gonna
It's
guilt
not
trip
even-
people. I'm gonna
what?
guilt trip people
Mhm.
into not drinking Jack Daniels
Put that
for all
shit
the
the
black
fuck
people,
down.
right? People don't understand Jack Daniels is the one that stole and forced one of his enslaved persons to teach him how to make that recipe. That same recipe
Wow.
today is being brewed and distilled in the distillery that now is owned by Uncle Nearest. That was the enslaved person that he forced to give him that recipe.
Wow.
Now his family is basically getting a restitution now, and
Yeah,
they
yeah.
own the distillery, number
Yeah.
7, but they own that distillery that Jack Daniels make their shit out of.
Wow.
Now they have their own liquor out now, their own
Uncle
bourbon,
Nearest.
which is
Yeah,
Uncle
yeah,
Nearest
yeah.
bourbon, which is superior
Right.
I was gonna say
to Jack Daniels.
you know the only argument Jack Daniels would have.
It's cheap.
No. I'm saying against that is that the shit they pull out is terrible, and Uncle Nearest has actually good whiskey.
I would say this: Jack Daniels kind of get good when they hit the Gentleman Jack stage and higher.
Yeah, but that means you have to or whatever. I mean,
But my thing is, if you're gonna buy certain whiskeys, right? Most of these whiskeys right here
Yeah.
are around the same price range.
Right.
You know,
Yep.
your cognac, your Henny, your Remy. Most of them what you're buying are around the same price range of other liquor. Even if it's not whiskey, what is it so bad as stepping out of your own box of trying new shit?
True.
You know, you don't know what feeling you're gonna get from it. You don't know what crowds it's gonna bring you around as well too, my nigga.
Right.
Because it's opening new doors at that point. Because until I started getting a whiskey, I wouldn't have met some of the people I was having conversation with, you know?
Yeah.
Like even me telling people about certain things, that's just being because I was open to trying new things. And it brought me around the people. It was like, yo, nah, that ain't how you do it. This is how you say this. This is how it's really done. So I'm being educated in a whole different manner now.
Right.
But it allows me to travel mentally.
Right.
Like, I think that's key, yo, because it's like a lot of us is physically trapped in a lot of places.
Yeah.
But if we allow our minds to literally go around the globe, yo, imagine how well-rounded we could be of a person, yo.
Sky's the limit.
Imagine, and then at that point, you can truly say you don't like something now because you actually tried it.
Yeah, I feel you.
Like, niggas be saying shit that they don't like this, and they never tried it a day in their fucking life. A day in their life, just because they think.
They just so used to the regular shit.
Shutting shit out.
Yeah.
I don't get that,
or the well-marketed bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and I feel like that's what separate a lot of us.
And what you like to say, people love ready done.
Yeah, they love ready done.
They love ready done.
They want something that people already tested. Like, yeah, this is how it is. This is what it is. Or what kills me the most, that's expert certified.
Yeah, like, who's your expert?
I was about to say, what the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah, how did some person become an expert in it?
Why? Because you marketed it on a national stand?
Because he went to school?
No, because you got paid by a big corporation to promote that.
Everything you do, you're always learning. I don't know. That's just how I look at it. There's no room where you can be like, yeah, I reached this tier where it's I'm done.
Yeah.
You know, I can just teach from here on out. Nah, you're still learning. Even when you're teaching, you're still learning, yo. There's new perspective to every single thing in this world, yo.
Yo. Can I point out one more thing and then I'll let y'all,
this is your
I'll let y'all lead the show after that?
This is your show.
The rules.
I'll let y'all lead the rules.
Right?
You know the rules.
This is your show.
I just want to point out, right?
Okay, go ahead.
That my dog Buck let y'all like this listen here because I don't never happen.
Listen. I appreciate
that'll
this man.
Never happen.
I appreciate this man more than he can understand.
That'll never happen.
The setting is beautiful, and we get to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be humble with it right now.
Exactly.
I'm trying to be humble, yo. But I promise you, when I leave this room, I'm not. I'm not.
Nobody else.
Nobody's gonna be able to say they came here and smoked
while recording.
While recording
the podcast. Y'all the first.
Yo,
hold on. Let me do one of these.
I got one of these.
You know what I mean? Get the understanding going on. That this is comfort. This is luxury. This is love.
This is thanks to you too, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
This is thanks to the hard work that you put in.
Absolutely.
This is thanks to you being the person that you are.
Yeah.
Because if you wasn't who you are, you wouldn't make the accolades that you do. You wouldn't meet the people that you do as well too, and they wouldn't gravitate to you as well too. So you being who you are is why this moment is happening right now.
Yeah, well,
so
I appreciate y'all, man.
I don't know. I like to look at the bigger picture and things. I know I think deeper on a lot of things sometimes, and I've been in my head all fucking day. So a lot of my shit is gonna be some deeper thoughts today. I'm just saying, man.
Going into the universe.
I'm gonna let you finish the pre-banter while I roll a spliff real quick because I want to take advantage of actually rolling in here because I do have something I want to start this podcast off with that I really want to jump into, and I'll see where it goes from there. So. Do what y'all got to do. And remember, this is just as much as your show, my nigga. Don't ask to say anything. Please don't. Just say that shit.
No talk about.
Do we have to have a sit down and have a conversation right now? Like,
leave it. Matter of fact, this is how we gonna do some pre-show banter. What did you find interesting this week?
So what did I find? I'm sorry.
Yeah, what did you find interesting in this past week?
I mean, shoot, I don't know. I mean, this week was a little eventful. Was it not? Yeah. Saturday we went to a noise listening party. Yeah. I brought and them type of environments I'm usually just pull a team.
I'm mad I missed that.
That was
me too. I went to a white people's wedding instead,
right.
But
you feel me?
Whatever.
This time around I brought my baby girl with me. You know what I'm saying? So
I saw the videos for that.
Yeah.
That melted my heart.
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that you feel me, especially somebody like Noah, he was around when my daughter was born, bro. You know what I'm saying? So he's like, yo, hold up, what? What's she
got big.
That's big? You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, man, you know, so that was a dope little vibe, man. They shot a little video, made sure baby girl was in the video and stuff like that. I'll be honest, man, it was a real chill weekend for me, for real. You know what I mean? Between me actually just tapping into my music and all that, more and more, it's like, you feel me? I'm getting back and I'm coming off the bench now.
You coming off the bench?
Yeah, you feel me?
Yeah, I gotta say something real quick.
Nah,
That
hold on.
Ice Spice type beat that you just released, my nigga.
Going crazy,
That
right?
shit was fire.
Yeah,
Fuego. Flames,
crazy.
nigga.
So that's a part of me coming off the bench again. So now, granted, I've been I could sit there and say I've been idle for some time. You know what I'm saying? I want to say probably like for a year I was idle. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that took part of that. You know what I'm saying? Just the studio that I was at. You feel me? And just having to fall out, all that other shit. You know what I mean? Us getting back on our feet.
Were
Thank
you still
God we're getting back
creating
on our
at this
feet.
time?
Creating, yeah, still, but you feel me? It's nothing like, to me personally, it's nothing like being in the studio, like in an actual studio, and compared to like, all right, you just got your laptop and some headphones
At the crib and just making
at the
beats.
crib, man. It's a different vibe, man. You get a different feeling. You get people around you. You get thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Other type of creators you put your head together. You put your minds together. It could come out to something beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
it's all about the vibe.
I'm missing that environment. I guess you could say, for more than anything. So now that
you miss being home,
right? So now
you miss being home.
Now that we're getting this stuff in motion, you know what I'm saying? Like it's that NC anxiety. It's like, yo, I can't wait, bro.
Ask you how you feel.
I'm about to drop 50 on these motherfuckers right now. I swear to God. You know what I'm saying?
That we're gonna do Kobe. We're gonna drop 81 on these niggas, man.
You know what I mean?
Black Mamba, yo.
So now that it's back, I'm back in motion. Like now, just slowly but surely, just tiptoeing my way back in. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You know, it's funny that you said that. I peep it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking back to everything you've been doing in these past like months. Cause I would say I'm starting to realizing it now from when we met at in New York.
Right. Yep.
You know, I was like,
yep.
You know, that was my first thing, but I never really put it together. I was like, okay, he's coming back outside. Okay, he's being back around these people that he was around. Like I never peeped that this is Shump.
Right.
Playing that, okay, I'm letting y'all see my face now before I drop this fire on y'all real quick.
So I didn't want to be I didn't want to be in a position where I felt like I was drowning. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't want to be like, cause granted, let's be real, like with no space, how you really gonna create? Yeah. You know what I mean? How you really gonna drop content?
Yeah.
How you really gonna do it? I'd much rather just take the step back. You know what? It was the best. At least I'll consider it's probably one of the best things for me, just taking that step back. I took the time out just to figure out me, what was for me.
Yeah, you already know
what I'm saying?
So it's not like you have to go back and relearn.
You know what I mean?
The basics.
Then I got my job. I mean, feel me? Again, like I said, for those who don't know, I work in a school system now, where I one-to-one with kids as far as behavior and stuff like that. You know what I mean? That's probably one of the most beautiful things to me because you see the growth of a child. You know what I mean? Somebody who probably may not have that much guidance, but you feel me? Like I'm the one to help install it. You know what I mean? And that means a lot to me.
Okay,
you know
I'm gonna ask you a real question right here. Would you put I'm not gonna compare because you can do both, but if you had a choice, what is a deeper love for you?
Repeat that one more time for me, bro. My bad.
What was the deeper love? What is a deeper love for you, right? To see the growth, development, and have and be a part of the process of a child growing, or the love of music?
That's crazy. That's a good question, man. Because I mean, I'll be honest with you, like I've only been doing like the behavioral thing for like a year. You know what I'm saying? But I felt such a passion from it. You know what I mean? Because again, these are kids that may not have that type of guidance, love, tender care that they may need at home. You know what I mean? Like, dude, listen, some of these kids really come up with some fucked up shit. Like they come home to some fucked up shit sometimes.
Yeah,
bro.
man, for real.
You know what I mean?
Sometimes your classroom is the only place that makes them feel like they can be a kid.
And they're in so dire need of attention that they're gonna lash out in school. You know what I'm saying?
Just for attention.
Just for attention. Because they need it. You know what I'm saying? So to actually sit there and be these guys one-to-one, to be their ear, you know what I'm saying? Because some of these kids, like I got one kid that will sit there and legit will come to me and talk just lash out about whatever. Just sit there and talk to me about whatever they feel like was going on in the sky, and then go right back into class, and then they chilling for the rest of the time. You know
They
what I'm
just need
saying?
to get it out.
They had to get it out. You know what I mean? So, but in the same sense, right? Like, my music is my baby. You know what I mean? Like, that's legit. Like, something
You're raising that too, carrying it.
if there's nothing that I can sit there and say that has done something for me in a sense that I never, ever experienced or ever felt like it was going to happen, and it is with music. You feel me? Like, music's brought me places I never thought I'd be at. You know what I mean? So, I've gained a new love with the whole schooling and everything like that. But at the same time, you feel me? Music's my baby. So I'm just gonna sit there and say both. I'm gonna sit there and say both.
It's hard to choose
You
when
know
it
what I
comes to
mean?
stuff like that.
Yeah,
Real
man.
shit.
Because like I see just the way certain kids have changed. You know what I mean? How
Just from your interactions with them.
But it's funny that you say that too again, right? The whole time you sit there was talking, I just pictured your growth.
Mm-hmm.
Chill Shump, from Musicology 1 to the Chill Shump that we're sitting down with now.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are two different people. At the same time, it's the same person, but it's two different people.
It's the growth, bro.
Nah, some real shit.
Was it two different beasts but the same animal? Something like that. Is that
the
the
same
same?
beast, but the same animal.
Yeah,
Some shit like that. Yeah, you know what I mean?
So-
whatever.
Nah, but I could sense the growth. And it's funny that this is like, we've been, I don't know, maybe it's just because we've been running into each other like so much, and we just been around each other, not in a manner of trying to get to know each other, but everything we do it's just we're seeing a different perspective into each other's life.
Right.
And just seeing you interact with other people outside of our interactions, after our interactions.
Right.
It's like I can see you for who you are even more now.
Absolutely.
Like, again, to quote Quell, this is why we do what we do.
Yeah.
It's not to always just put us in the rooms with certain people, but it allows us to really get to know somebody.
Yeah,
Like,
for
like at this point, my nigga, like, I can truly feel like I can call you a friend.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just off the first time, and it's not just off just doing the podcast. It's just the relationship that it built after just us meeting each other, you know, because it wasn't just after that hour and a half, 2 hours of talking and chilling and drinking with each other. It continued after that, you know. We was in the same rooms. We was in New York together.
Right.
We was on that live TV together.
Hey, yo,
so it's like,
I'm just mad as hell. I just got the whole thing from that today, and I didn't even make it.
Hey, we were talking about when we went to New York.
Yeah, I didn't even make it, and I got the told for it today.
And Shirley pulled off some iconic shit that day, bro. I can't
one
hold
and
you.
done.
I can't hold you.
That shit was fire, my nigga.
Man.
It's not the same watching it.
Shout out
on
to my dog
YouTube.
Shirley, by the way, man.
It's
He
not,
over there
yo.
making a name for himself right now.
Like I see everybody
respect it.
reposting it on all these platforms.
Yes.
It don't hit the same unless you're in that room.
Yes.
And
Yes.
hear the energy and just see the reactions of
Yes.
everybody's face. Yeah, I know. I'm
Yes.
low-key rubbing it in right now.
Yeah, thanks.
But that was fire. But before we jump further, man, No, I hit him. He just got caught in traffic.
I had to leave work.
He was on his way.
and
He just
then
got caught
did
in traffic. And traffic ended up making him miss the whole thing in general.
Yeah,
If he didn't hit traffic, he would have made it.
I would have been there.
He would have been there, man.
Because I was doing about $95 way on
That's
the bridge.
it?
On
That's
the
it? Only
bridge.
95?
Yeah, I tried to make sure I didn't hit 100, so they ain't hit me for triple digits. You know what I mean?
I mean, you're already in a reckless zone. Just push it
Gotta
a
be
little
safe.
bit.
Nah,
When you're already late, why not just get
I can get
breakfast at
away
the
with
same
it.
time?
I can get away with a 95.
Oh, I didn't know. All right, you're black. That don't really work that often. I'm sure
You're right. I grew up in Windsor Mall.
You could only really be dunce and get away with it when you're white. I'm just saying. Or with money. That's the only time you're white, when you have money.
Nah, well, yeah, say you still a nigga in the Benz, bro.
My nigga, but if you have the right bond money, dog, in certain situations, you're white. Yeah. So, damn, yo, I don't like touching on certain things on the podcast only because I'm not educated enough to really dive into it properly. You know, because it's
So
like
you ask questions.
like even the whole white aspect. Like if you really think about it, like the whole black and white in terms of equity, like black voice don't really have no value in terms of the law.
Right.
Like if you look at it from a legal standpoint, my nigga, like they said Black Lives Matter is like you're literally fighting for nothing.
Right.
Legally speaking, you're fighting to be nothing.
Right.
So to be something.
No, when it comes like black in terms of legal, that's what I'm saying. I hate speaking on it because I don't know how to speak on it properly.
Okay.
But like, and when it comes to certain conversations, certain groups, when it comes to like Black lives and like Black voice, it literally means nothing. Like there's no equity behind that. You can't profit off that in no way, shape, or form unless you're Jewish.
All right.
That's why, like, even the whole Kanye shit, nigga, like when he do the White Lives Matter shit, it's controversial, my nigga. But it matters because he's basically saying, my nigga, I'm white.
Right.
And when he say I'm white, he's basically saying, nigga, you see me. Think about it. Nah. But that's what I'm talking about legally. This is not racially. I'm not talking about racially.
Okay.
This is a whole different financial conversation because you have to be in certain groups. Like I was watching the Drink Champs part 2 with this nigga before I came here, and I was motivated off that shit because he was spilling the beans off that shit, nigga.
Right.
So
I didn't have yet seen it.
It's hard to find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think YouTube banned it. But with that being said, welcome to Weed and Whiskey Podcast, man. I'm really excited for this one. I feel like we made history. I feel special.
We keep doing it.
Wait, what's the correct number? Lounge 4, right? Lounge 3.
Lounge 3. Lounge 3-4. Lounge 34. Yep.
Lounge 3-4?
Yes, sir.
All right,
Lounge
man.
3-4.
We are here at Lounge 3-4. I feel fucking honored for being in here because a man of legendary status put together this whole environment.
Yeah.
He's a leader in this fucking community, and he allowed us to come into his space and allowed us to be us at our full capacity.
Absolutely.
No restrictions.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's a reflection on who he is as a person.
Yeah.
I just needed to take the time to shout him out. And I gotta say the name. Shout out to Tebucky Jones.
Yes.
Thank you for allowing us into your space.
Absolutely.
This makes me feel so
Thank you
great
for letting
right
us
here.
smoke.
I could never imagine some shit like this in my life.
I didn't wake up this morning and think I was gonna be able to do this.
Hey, nah, listen, man. I told you you was straight. All I had to do is make a call.
Nigga, you made the call.
Absolutely.
I love that, my nigga.
Absolutely.
And I feel like this alone is gonna be really good. And honestly, because we're in this environment, I feel like as ignorant I can be sometimes, we have to have some grown man talking here, man. This is a grown man environment, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Number grown man conversation. But before we get into all of that, I wanted to tap into this, right? Because we just talked about how it was at that live TV shooting.
Yep. For the CT forum.
For the CT forum.
Hashtag if not us who. Yep.
Yes.
Shout out to my dog Mud.
Yes.
You feel me? Manager over there.
Please do it right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So a lot of things were said, and I want to just use my platform to just broaden and bring my perspective on a lot of things, right?
Yes, yep.
Before I say anything, I loved everything about that room.
Yeah.
Everything that was done about that was perfect.
Right.
I'm one of those people who there's things that just, as the Jamaican in me, my energy don't take it too right, you know?
Right.
And the one thing, like one of the few things, not just the one thing, one of the few things I got from that, right? I feel like everybody in there was saying, oh, Connecticut needs to support each other. Connecticut needs to support each other. But I still feel like we pick and choose who from Connecticut we support.
Yeah, that's very true.
I want to sit there and point out something. And maybe we didn't have this conversation we didn't go over this too thoroughly during the forum, which I want to bring up, right? Considering that we are in the state of Connecticut, we are in a population of 3 million, correct, Muds?
I see that
3 million people, right?
Wait, say that last part again?
We're in a population of 3 million and as a whole, right? So you got New York, where you got compared to what, maybe
20.
Like 20 million, right?
Yeah.
Atlanta alone.
One borough got 3 million.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta alone, that's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? LA, millions. You know what I mean? Like, these are cities down naming. You feel me? Connecticut, we're in 3 million. And if you ask me, as far as like people who actually listen to rap and are tapped into, all right, let's break it down. Let's really break it down for real. As far as whoever really listens to the rap, for real, that's probably like broken down to 1 million. Because let's be real.
Facts,
like,
you're right.
We got a lot of
like
about
3
30,
million here
about
don't mean it's 3 million tapping in.
Right.
Yeah.
That means, you feel me? Because we got a lot of other people that just don't. That's just not their repertoire. You know what I'm saying? And then when you break that down, probably got maybe 300 to 400,000 people that really tap into local
Facts.
I was gonna give that a smaller number
You know what I'm
too.
saying?
You just started really listening to local.
I was gonna say I wasn't,
and it's probably just been a year of that.
yeah, about
You
a
know?
year and a half, maybe a year.
Not for nothing, I can remember this like no other. We was like keeping tabs of the numbers on Yank Rhythm when it first came out. And when the video came out, and it just is just me just throwing out a general speculation of it. When the video came out, it was getting crazy traction, but it almost capped at like 400,000 until she got signed and went through the whole label process and all that other stuff. So if you ask me, that was like the whole Connecticut plus a little bit of some embracing into what was going on. You know what I'm saying? So
300,000 is a lot. That's not necessarily viral worthy, you know what I'm saying? Or just doing numbers like that. That's silly. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, it's definitely viral, but what I mean to say it's not astronomical. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's one thing that a lot of creatives kind of fail to look into necessarily, because there are still factors that want to play parts. All right, cool. Well, let's say I came out with a record and it went stupid in CT. You know what I mean? I still need to go to Jersey. I still need to go to Mass. I still need to go to Rhode Island. I still need to go to New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine. You know what I mean? Like, and it's so on and so forth. You know what I mean? So I feel like, in a sense, granted, we talking about more, but I think we're limiting ourselves when it's saying like, hey, why CT don't show some clip? Nah, CT ain't getting love from everybody else.